Good morning, students. I hope you all have prepared notes of previous topics of the chapter Nationalism in India, and today we are going to discuss limitations of civil disobedience movement. So the first and foremost major limitation of civil disobedience movement was less participation of Dalits, and the other name used for Dalit caste is oppressed or untouchables. Alright, now why did Congress not allowed much participation of Dalits? Is because they were apprehensive of the fears of Sanatanis. Sanatanis were higher caste Hindu people. So Congress felt that if they would allow Dalits into the movement, Sanatanis people would not showcase interest or did not participate in the movement. Now we have one short question on the role played by Mahatma Gandhi for upliftment of Dalits. Now, firstly, I'll mention Mahatma Gandhi was the first person who used the word Harijan for Dalits. Alright, and he said that Swaraj would not come for 100 years if we would not do efforts for the upliftment of Dalit people. He motivated people for the entry of Dalits in temples. He allowed Dalits to have access to tanks, schools, roads. Alright, and he himself cleaned toilets for showcasing respect towards the task done by the sweepers, or you can say Bhangi. Alright, so Dalit participation was limited to area of Maharashtra and Nagpur. Alright, now we have another personality who has played tremendous role in the upliftment of Dalits is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. A very important one marker question is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar formed Depressed Classes Association in 1930. Do remember it. Now I have told you in previous lecture that in the second roundtable conference negotiations broke down and Mahatma Gandhi relaunched civil disobedience movement, right? So what was the issue? Why did second roundtable conference was not successful is in this second roundtable conference Ambedkar demanded separate electorates for Dalits. So what we mean by the concept of separate electorates is Dalit leaders would be chosen by the Dalit voters only. Alright, but Gandhiji considered it as a threat for the integration of the country, and he felt there will be more divisions in the among the people, and he went for fast unto death over this issue. Then how was a compromise made between Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi was through Pune Pact of 1932. In this, what was the compromise was that scheduled caste, other name for depressed classes, scheduled caste was given reserved seats in provincial and central councils. But instead of voting only by the Dalit voters, the Dalit leaders would be voted by general electorate. That is, all the people will vote for Dalit leaders or Dalit representatives. Alright, so reserved seats was the result of Pune Pact of 1932. Another major limitation of civil disobedience movement was less participation of Muslims. Now, after non-cooperation movement, in non-cooperation movement, Mahatma Gandhi was able to have participation of Muslims because of the Khalifa issue, which we have discussed earlier. But after that, Muslims felt that Congress is more associated for the cause of Hindus, and they felt it associated with Hindu Mahasabha, which worked for the upliftment of Hindu caste people only. And Muhammad Ali Jinnah agreed to give up separate electorate for Muslims. Separate electorate means the Muslim community demanded separate electorate for Muslims, that is, Muslim leaders would be voted by Muslim voters only. But he decided to give up this condition only if two things are satisfied. First is reserved seats in central provincial plus representation of Muslims in proportion to population in Bengal and Punjab, because there were majority of Muslim people. Alright, and all parties conference was held in 1928, and in this all parties conference in 1928, M.R. Jaikar of Hindu Mahasabha opposed this offer of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and hence Muslims did not participate in the civil disobedience movement. Alright, so these two were the major limitations. Under this heading we have covered 2 or 3 short question answers as well. So if it comes up in long questions, you need to elaborate these points, otherwise mention in brief. Now another major topic, or you can say the last topic of the chapter, is how did nationalism spread? What were the symbols, what were the means and ways through which people were united in the name of nation in our country. So the first personality whose contribution is remarkable is Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. He was the first person who painted the image of Bharat Mata. In 1870s, he wrote down Vande Mataram, the national song of our country, and this Vande Mataram song was widely sung in Swadeshi movement in Bengal. So this movement was launched after the partition of Bengal in 1905, and he wrote very famous novel Anand Math. Do remember the author of Anand Math? It's Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. Now we have another personality named Abanindranath Tagore. He also created very famous image of Bharat Mata. Bharat Mata has been showcased with characteristics of calmness, composed, divineness or ascetic feature is showcased through she's having mala in her one hand, all right, and the image is perceived as Bharat Mata is dispensing learning, food and clothing to its citizens. The portrait is given in the book, to have a look at it. Rabindranath Tagore in Bengal spread nationalism by through the means of folk tales, ballads, hymns, all right. So he went through the villages, he collected these folk tales and used these to evoke nationalism among the people. In Madras, the personality named Natesha Shastri created the folklore of southern India, all right, and this he considered as the most important national literature. Then a very important symbol used for unification of the country used was tricolor flag. The three colors were red, green and yellow, all right. This tricolor flag was used during Swadeshi movement in Bengal. Now what were its features? It has 8 lotuses which represent 8 British provinces in India, plus it has crescent moon which showcased unity of Hindus and Muslims, all right. Another flag named Swaraj flag was designed by Mahatma Gandhi in 1921. It is also tricolor, but the one color was different, that is white. So it has red, green and white, and along with that it has another feature of spinning wheel which was used to symbolize self-help. And moreover, one more thing that was used for unification was India's achievement and glorification of its past, but that past was showcased through Hindu iconography. As you can see that these mala is also associated with Hindu customs and religion, so that is why other communities were not able to associate themselves much with these figures. This was the last topic of nationalism in India. Now you have 2 days time to complete this chapter, to clarify your doubts, and you need to make notes as well as write down question answers of NCERT in your fair notebook in your own wording. Mark my word, don't copy it from anywhere else, it is not going to help you. So it's better, even if you are not able to write down up to the mark, it's okay, but what is important is that you try to attempt by yourself, all right. So do send your homework in your own wording. I'll be very happy to read that, and that's all. Thank you.